So, we have a new situation. I have moved into a new house. It's wonderful. But the problem is, all my studio stuff now has to be completely redone. And we have decided to change one of the rooms into a studio. Naturally, most people work in a room that they DIY themselves. So, I figured, seems like I'm here, why don't I show you how to build a studio by yourself at home that doesn't cost too much. I don't want to do it half-heartedly. I want to get a decent sounding room and I want to see what I can do with the space that I have. Most spaces you have in your house aren't completely suitable for a studio environment. But, you know, on the other end of the spectrum, most rooms you have can be converted into a space that you want. So I figured in this video series that I'm going to do, I'm going to show you the process of building a home studio, starting from the very beginning all the way to the end. I'm going to show you everything that you need to consider about your room. Your workspace for one, your workstation that you need to use, the acoustics of your room, the shape of your room, the speaker choice. We're going to cover all of this in this series of videos. And we're going to start with the very beginning, building your workstation, or quite simply, a desk to work from. The first process of building a desk is deciding what the desk is meant for. As a musician, I like to use a desk for composing music. I have to have a desk that is suitable for mixing and mastering. Whether the room is suitable for mixing and mastering is a different story entirely. But what I want in a desk, I want something that is compact. I want something that can hold a full-scale keyboard. And I want something that can hold some analog gear if I feel like getting it, and hold the speakers up. So, what we're going to do first is start with the design and then move into building. When designing a desk, we are considering the space. What I've done here is I have modeled the room that I'm working on using the exact measurements. The first thing you need to do is design the desk. Now, you can't just design the desk. You have to design the desk for the room that you are going to be in. This is not sponsored, by the way. I am using SketchUp, which is a freeware software that you can get online. I'll put a link in the description. And this is fantastic software for you to design your space. It takes a bit of a learning curve, but once you get the hang of it, it's quite easy to use. In SketchUp, I have measured the dimensions of the room. And in this room, I am putting my desk. I am also putting a secondary desk in here. But my primary objective is to fit the space with the desk. In part 2 of this video series, you'll see why this desk position is not the most ideal position for acoustic reasons. Considering the space I'm working with, it is the best I can come up with. I am designing a desk that is high enough for myself, that can support the amount of equipment that I want to put on it and doesn't take up too much space. Although this desk is designed in this manner, it may not look like this exactly at the end for different reasons. This will include stability of the desk, or it'll include the height of the legs. The main priority that I'm focusing on in this design is to create a desk that will fit in the space and that will compensate for all the things that I want to put in this room. Now, if you want me to do a video exactly how SketchUp works, I'm more than happy to do that. I don't think it's necessary because you can go onto SketchUp and actually go learn it yourself, and there are tutorials on how to use it there as well. Now that the design is complete and we have an exact idea of what we're going for, measurements and everything, it is time for us to go to your local builder's warehouse. In my case, it's Bauhaus. In your case, it could be anything. I don't know. You'll have to see. In your case, it could be anywhere. I don't know where you are in the world. Any place will have the stuff you need to build your desk. This includes the wood that I'm buying, the varnish, and the adapters and screws that I require. Time for us to head back and start actually putting this together. Okay, so the thing with a desk is that they're expensive. You'll find that your desks are going to cost you, that the one you really want is going to be like $1,000 or 1,000 francs or 1,000 euros, depends where you are in the world, which is crazy. I'm in this beautiful workshop, and in this workshop I'm going to build a desk, and we're going to start by cutting and sanding. Get cool shots and shit like that. Yeah. My way to go here now. Okay, so that's the size of the desk. It's pretty cool. Great part is I can sit in here and I can have just my keyboard and mouse here, interface wherever I want to put it, probably on the sides or whatever. And then I have all this space open, and we're going to use these guys to build mounts to raise the height of this thing. In fact, I'm going to be silly. I want to see how high this goes. That's all free space, so...
That's the naughty corner.
Naughty corner.
Naughty laptops that are
All right, so now we have our plan, which is probably terrible on camera, but let's have a look, see it. It's terrible.
I'm sorry. You'll have to edit it.
Which one do we want on top? Do you want this side on top or do you want this side on top? I think this side, because this one has that groove in the middle, which is ugly. This indication of good wood is is less knots, I think. I don't know, I'm not a wood guy, but that sounds realistic to me. Yeah, I'm going to use this guy. Why? Because it's bigger and scarier than this guy. Oh, I just had to get a hair in my mouth at this point. So, we have now finished the top of the desk and we've cut out the pieces that we need. Now we got to get on to rounding the corners of these desks using this guy. Warning, these things are dangerous and they can cut your fingers off. Just warning you. Okay, so it's balancing precariously, but this is now the first stage of the desk. We have the two legs. They are 2.5 or 2.7 mil. We need to screw it in from the top, and we need to screw it in from the middle and the back. But yeah, this is the height of the desk, 80 centimeters. It was originally planned for 74, and I messed up, so measure stuff better. And I need to drill a bigger hole. Oh, that is one thing to consider. If you're drilling holes into wood, if you're a woodworking person, you probably know this, but you should probably drill smaller holes before drilling the big holes because you could split the wood. Tip of the day. We have drilled holes for the legs for this desk, but now what I want to do, there's always a problem with cables, you know, as you guys probably know, with any studio stuff we have cables. Now my idea is to have some controllers on the front, and obviously you might have a mouse and keyboard that's wired. My idea is to now get these guys, which you can get in a plumbing section, and a circular screw, and then drill holes in here. This is the same length as the racks that will be up here. So I want this radii, which is 753, to be sitting far away, but in between the two, so it looks, you know, kind of natural. Problem is the leg comes over, so I just need to make sure I don't cut into the leg. If I don't cut into the leg, great. If I do cut into the leg, let's not do that. Right. The top part is done. Now I have to put the back plate in, but I don't know which one. It's one of those. Right, so we have completed our desk. We have planned it. We have bought all the stuff that we require for it. It cost this much. And now we have assembled it. And now we go to show you the functionality of it. Right, so we have now, and we can check this out. We have built our desk. It's stable. And we have enough space for a mountain of stuff. You know, as one does, you can have your control surfaces over here, you can have a keyboard over here, depends what you want to do. Mouse, keyboard, interface, whatever. We have built cable holes for cables for stuff like interfaces on both sides. On the sides here, we also have enough space for 3 rack units. And in the middle, we can call it this our naughty corner. What I intend to do in the middle is either have extra equipment put in here, or we can put our laptop in here, and then eventually we will be able to close this and soundproof it on the inside so you have a quiet laptop. If you use a laptop, if you don't use a laptop, you can then use underfloor computer or something like that. So yeah, now my favorite feature as a writer of music and such is that we have a keyboard mount that can go all the way in. So if you're sitting forward, you can sit right in front of your console and mix how you want. Or if you want to compose some music, sit back a little bit and the keyboard stand can come out and you can play full size for an 88 key keyboard. Right! Woo! Step 1 done. We have a table, quite a sturdy table. I'm very happy with it. It's going to be very functional, as you can see all the features that is going to have. We will be finishing all the stuff on it. Like, we will buy a keyboard, we will buy rack units, we will get all those things, which is a separate thing entirely. But step 1 done. The next step, in the next video, part 2, we're going to be talking about buying your speakers, choosing your speakers, and choosing your interface, and choosing what controllers you want, blah, blah, blah. And we're also going to talk about the acoustic treatment of the room, which is probably what everyone wants to see. So we'll check you in the next video.